workshop. My name is Anne Marie, and I love to make things with joy. And this is my hashtag Friday Sews video about what's been going on around the workshop. If you love this kind of content, please like, subscribe, and share. All right, so this week I did not get a whole lot of things done, but before I get into that, let's go ahead and talk about the forum topic. Well, last week I didn't find a forum topic, so I started talking about my sewing journey. So I'm going to continue on from where I left off. I left off as a young woman out of high school and went to college with my sewing machine, and having the ability to make things and create things really excited me. Sometimes fashion moments come through that are great for, say, 80% of the population, but there are those of us that sometimes, if you're not waist-centered, in other words, if your waist has always been a little bit larger or something like that, sometimes you're excluded from certain fashion moments. So being able to sew really helped me. And I remember the first thing I ever made that filled me with so much joy. It was a plum-colored corduroy jacket with a wide wale weft. And it felt delicious, and I lined it in a lavender satin, and it felt so luxurious. And I wore it, and I wore it, and I wore it until I don't know what happened to it, but I absolutely loved it. And sometimes getting that kind of validation that you chose something that wasn't presented to you by the manufacturers, that you created it, it can spark a lifetime of expression. So after that, I became a young bride and a young mother, and I sewed for my daughters, I sewed for my son, and then the quilting bug hit me. And as you can see, the bug hasn't left me yet. So by that time, I had moved to Pennsylvania. I belonged to a quilting guild in Texas, and that was wonderful because lots of people who were promoting their books would travel the quilting circuit of organizations that get together and quilt, and quilting bees and stuff like that. And so I got to meet some really wonderful authors who had wonderful techniques, and spend some time with them. And I remember meeting Judy Murrah, and she's the one who was the encouragement for these jackets, these quilting jackets, and that kind of melded both worlds for me. Quilted material, and she had all sorts of fabric finishes. She called them jazzy jackets. Those of you who were ever into her, go check her out. She had some magnificent things: tabards, jackets, short jackets, vests, and I fell down that hole because it was the perfect weight for Houston. They were the quilting pieces were sandwiched with cotton, with flannel, so they were kind of a lightweight but heavy enough jacket, you know. So that kept me going for quite some time. And then that led me into later days when I was making prom dresses and outfits for older young ladies. Now, I did try and sew for people for a while. I have done that very often in my life, but now I only sew for people I love, because I realized that I donate enough of my heart and soul to my teaching, and with the young kids, that sewing is for me. It's the delight for me, and so therefore I have to guard the things that are delightful to me. So I cannot be at the risk of someone who does not understand what it takes to sew something bespoke to them. So, and I don't want to discuss prices, and I don't want to discuss that you think it has pinpricks in it, and I don't want to discuss that it didn't turn out the way you thought it was gonna. I don't want to do any of that, because I just want to sew for the love of it. So that's my story up until, I guess, I'm in middle age, and I'll tell you the rest on another Friday. So my brother was in town from Japan, So I sewed less this week, and we went on an adventure to Kingston because he needed to get a driving affidavit so that he could drive in Japan. And that led us into the city. And so we, you know, anybody who's lived anywhere that has a kind of a colonial feel to it knows that you don't get through with things in a hurry. They send you back time and time again. So we went there first thing in the morning, 2-hour ride on the coach and taxi drive. And then we thought, well, they're going to tell us he needed something else. And the clerk said, oh, it'll be 15 minutes, have a seat. We didn't know what to do with ourselves. It wasn't even breakfast time yet. We were there so early. So my brother's a little bit of a he's a filmmaker. And he said, well, we can go to Ping's. You want to try the Ping's here in Kingston? And I made a video on that. And I think you'll see that Wednesday. Yeah, I think it comes out Wednesday. And I also found another fabric store, exquisite, called Pablos. So now I have more, and oh, they had some beautiful stuff, and I bought some things. So given that I got to visit my lovely Pings, I'll show you the haul I have from there at the end, because I didn't expect another haul, but I did haul. It happened. So let me show you what I'm working on and what I got done while he was here. Now I have to admit, I really only got one thing mostly finished this week, and that's this Beaute J'Adore ME pattern, ME2016. And I kind of made this, I thought it was going to be my birthday dress, but now I've made birthday plans and it's a little bit too formal for that. But this is this raspberry fabric that I got from Fabric Mart. And then this beautiful print is from Pings. All right, so I'm still kind of working on this because the pattern includes a sleeve head to give it the most volume, but I think because of how light it is, I might have to take these sleeve heads out and maybe get some kind of, say, mesh, a harder mesh that would have more stiffness to keep these beautiful sleeves really large. But I'm still working on it. It needs a hem. I had this beautiful kind of faggoting trim, but it's not enough to go all the way around the skirt. So that's where we are in that. I think last Friday I kind of told you that this was a bit of a bust for me, for my shape and everything, but one of my wonderful subscribers, sewing friend, Mary Anita, said, you know, she really loved it. And she said, that would make a wonderful robe. So I'm going to work on that. I'm going to open it here. I have some more of this trim, and I think she's right. It would make a wonderful robe, because I was going to bail on it, y'all. I was going to find it somewhere else to live. But thank you, Mary Anita. I was so excited when I got there. Hanging on the wall when I walked into Ping's were these beautiful gold bags that I gave out to some of my subscribers last year, and I've been on the hunt for them ever since. I wanted them for my my reversible challenge coming in August, but they laughed at me in Montego Bay, and they smiled at me very politely in Mandeville. They were like, those gold bags are gone, ma'am. We just don't have any more. And there they are hanging on the wall in Kingston. So I have enough for the challenge. Now, while I was at Ping's, I had some big wins and one loss. While I was there, I checked out everything they had. I went upstairs to their upholstery fabric, and of course I went to look in their clearance area, and they had $150 a yard Jamaican material, which is about less than $1. And I was so tickled. So very often it might not be a color you like, it might not be quite the thing, but in this case it was navy. Now they didn't tell you exactly what it is, but I can work with this. So I bought 10 yards of this because it's a staple for me. My navy is a staple, and so it's less than 10 yards. It was 60 inches wide. It has a bit of a sheen to it. It's also airy. You can see. I can't wait to use this. In the same section, I bought a few of these dusty blue sheer fabrics because even though sheer challenges me, it makes me slow down and do a good job. I do love the effect of how things come out when they're done in this sheer. So these were like in 2-yard increments. So I bought, well, this is 3.5. This is 1, and this is 2. So about 6 of this I bought from the $150 a yard. And that's all I bought there. There was a beautiful cream there with embroidery and a little sequin on it. And I don't know what was wrong with me. I don't know why I didn't get that. It was beautiful, but it's not my cream. It has a little bit too much brown in it. But I do have that color palette in my family, and I should have got it. But I was feeling so grateful for being there. You know, we didn't expect to go fabric shopping. We were really there for business. So one thing I did find, though, that I did go there to purchase was some black linen, because I wanted to make the Pattern Fantastique harmonic set again with this white and black graphic print, and I wanted the wave to be made with this black linen. So that was a great success to find it there. Was not cheap. It was on par with good linen. So $1,800, so about $12 a yard or something like that. So it was on par. They had a lot more things than the Mandible store because of course it's a major city. You're wondering what the fail was. The fail was that my branch of Mandible of Pings was out of the black cotton bias tape that I needed to work on my Kaffe facet dress. And I checked out at a part of the center, and I think I would have remembered about it if I had checked out at the section where all the zippers and the notions and things were. So that was the only fail about Pings. It was delightful. And I think every couple of months I'll take a coach into Kingston and go shopping at Pings there. For my find in the same, there's like a tailor's shopping area. I went to see this fabric store called Pablos, and it's in the road trip video that I made. Oh my goodness, it's fabulous. It had so much fabric. I can't even, maybe I'll put a few clips in here for you to see the kind of stuff they had. And they had some stunning pieces. And I bought 3. I could have bought 10, but we were traveling on the coach. We're not in a car. So I had to say, look, you know, you didn't intend to shop. So I got this cotton blend. It's in panels, and it has this vibrant scene with a border, and I bought 4 panels of it. I don't know how much in yardage it was because I went with the panel rather than the yards. So I told the lady when to stop, and she measured it for me. The difference between fabric stores that I've been to so far is you don't bring the bolts to them. They come to the bolts and measure them for you. So yeah, but you can take a look at that that video of that road trip and you'll see how it is there. So this is one of them. I think it's beautiful. And then this other one, which is with blue and white, and I didn't check on their rolls. I didn't check if they had any information about what these were, what the content is, but I just loved some of them. So here is the blue and white, And I have a pattern that's coming from Etsy that really celebrates all of these large motifs on fabric. I just think that's a beautiful blue and white thing. I can't wait to work with that. But the pièce de résistance is this. Now it's big, y'all. The motif is big. But I just thought it was so beautiful. I cannot wait to work on it. I think this needs to be a duster. I think this needs to be something large and impressive so my fish can show themselves. Excuse me. I bought 4 yards. No, on this piece I bought 6 yards because I didn't want to have to take a trip all the way to Kingston to find out I needed 4.5 yards for whatever nonsense I come up with that I want to make with this fabric. So all in all, it was a great week. Wonderful time I got to spend with my brother. He took some beautiful portraits of himself, myself, and my father, which was more than I could ask for. So he got his driving affidavit. We got our pictures done. We got to see Dungeons and Dragons together, and he got to sleep a lot, just like my dad getting over the jet lag. And we got to sit around, and my brother and my dad got to sit around and talk. And of course, there were tears when we're leaving, but it's time. Sometimes you have to go back to your life and just hope for the best. So it was a wonderful week. I got some beautiful things. I worked on some wonderful things, and I'm going to do less this month because it was too much. 21 items is a lot of buttons and a lot of stuff, and I'm just gonna slow the wheel a bit. Maybe go read some more books or watch some more TV or do some more walking. But I hope you enjoyed this make. This is half. There's another half coming. So stay tuned and keep making with joy. We'll see you soon.